All right, so let's look at the next level. Okay, they can do all that. Okay, you're moving on to rhythmic breathing. Okay, and what I mean by rhythmic breathing is not necessarily breathing to the side, but they can breathe comfortably by going down, exhaling, coming up, taking a breath in, not out, just in, and then going back down. Okay, breathing out. So they're getting that you guys do very naturally, that up and down breathing. Okay. They should be able to swim using their arms. Their arms may not be perfect, okay, but they should have the idea that they're strong kickers on their stomach, and now they're putting the arm motion to that. But not necessarily with side breathing. That's pretty advanced. And they should definitely, at this point, be able to kick on their back. Okay? If you get them through all of that, then I would start putting the side breathing with the arms, but not until they're completely ready. From my mind, that's probably something you're not going to do to the very end of this session. Okay, so they're school-age beginners. These kids might be just a little bit older. They're not the 4s, you know, they're like pushing 6, okay? Again, they're the beginners probably. If they're 6 years old and they're not in this program, they're probably on the tadpoles. They can put their face in the water and exhale, again, kicking really easily on their stomach without assistance and floating on their back. So really similar to the preschooler. It's just that they're just a little bit older, so they're going to be able to understand you better and really do what you want them to do a little bit quicker than those younger kids. Okay, let's go ahead and go through. Let's look at the bottom table on there under school age beginner, because I like the way that this is broken out. I've broken freestyle down into the different skills that I see it involving. First, the safety and movement. A lot of these kids might be beyond that. They should be beyond that because they're going underwater. These are for kids that are really new to the water, just understanding that they can get around the pool by, holding on to the side with their feet up, kind of doing a monkey walk along the side. I've broken that down then to putting their face in, okay, and working on breathing. Again, it doesn't have to be in conjunction with kicking or using their arms. Okay, then we have kicking, which is a totally separate skill. If they can do those things separately, they can be on the stairs or holding onto the wall and they're going up and down and they're holding their breath and they've got rhythmic breathing and their kicking looks great. Okay, then have them be practicing with those things together, kicking with their face in. First with the barbell and then alone. Okay, and then breath control. You're trying to get the same kinds of things that you do on a smaller scale. Going down to the bottom in slightly deeper water to pick up a toy, swimming through a hula hoop, holding their breath, okay, going under and kicking their way through. Okay. All right. So let's talk about you're teaching somebody how to swim freestyle, and let's say that you want to eventually get to them kicking with their face in. What I would do, okay, is start with doing different kicking skills where you can watch their kicking and correct it. All right. They can be putting their hands on the stairs and kicking, or they can be putting their hands, their arms over the barbell like this. This keeps their face out of the water, so it's more stable than using a kickboard. And they can really latch on. They won't be afraid. You don't need to hold on to them. You can get behind them and move their legs, and they're not hemmed in by the stairs. One of the things I don't want you to ever do is have them put their hands on the lip of the pool, especially with their head out of the water. And kick, okay? You guys, I know if you're all strong swimmers, if you tried to do that, you would find it's pretty hard, okay? The lip of the pool is about that far above the surface of the water, and their head is up. It's like a giant bowling ball. Their feet are going to go right down. You guys could do it because you're strong enough. They'll never be able to do it, and if they can, they certainly won't be kicking correctly, okay? So always have them have their hands, below the surface of the water or on that top stair, stretched out in front of them, pushing them as close to streamline as you can, okay? Or on the bar. Once they've got this, you can and they've developed a little bit of kicking strength, then they can even hold the barbell out in front of them. At first, with their head up, okay? And then as they're getting more confident, have them start putting their head down, okay? So they're kicking well, they're moving through the water well. They can do this on the barbell with their head down or on the stairs with their head in the water and they're exhaling. The next thing to do is to have them do it on their own without the barbell, without the stairs, to you. Okay? okay? They might be scared, so the first thing that I would do is stand just a couple feet back from the stair and just have them push off to you streamline, okay, with their face in the water. Forget the kicking, just have them go a little ways to you, that's all, okay? Then have them go a little further, and then a little further, and kicking, okay? So you get the idea. So that eventually, you're standing pretty far back, and they're kicking to you. And then eventually you're like running as they're trying to kick towards you as far as they can go, okay? That's how I would work on the kicking, okay? So breathing. They should be able to go underwater. They should be able to hold their breath. What they might not be doing very well is exhaling. And there's a couple different ways to get them. Some kids, I don't exactly know why, have a really hard time with the idea of exhaling in the water. Sometimes saying blowing bubbles isn't enough. They'll just go with their lips and they think they're blowing bubbles and they're really not blowing at all. They're not exhaling. So to check that, have them blow on your hand. Okay, you pretend you're blowing up birthday candles, blowing up a balloon, anything that you would blow up, right? Okay, then put your hand under the water a little bit, okay, and have them do the same thing and go deeper and deeper until they're actually putting their whole face down and you're sure they're truly exhaling, okay? Once they've got the exhaling and they feel like you're ready to move on, have them do that and then lift their head to breathe in, put it back down to breathe out. Just sitting on the stairs is fine. You can take them out, hold on to the lip or the edge of the pool and have them do it there, pushing themselves down and then bringing themselves up, okay? After that, I would try working on it when they're on the barbell, okay? Any of those things where they're just practicing that rhythmic breathing over and over and over again. And even though you know they know how to do it, you guys go to swim practice every day so that you practice, 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 they still need to practice, practice, practice alone. Not with the kicking, not with the barbell, just practice that rhythmic breathing on the stairs or on the lip of the pool, okay, so that they really, really, really get comfortable and good at it, all right? Arms. There's lots of different ways to introduce the arms. Some kids just pick it right up. Other kids have a little bit more trouble. I usually start by having them sit on the stairs, sometimes actually even sitting on my lap on the stairs, and I'm sitting behind them. So if they're on my lap and I'm behind them, I can actually move their arms for them one at a time. I sometimes sing, if they're of the younger sort, like pushing the floor, I would sing row, row, row your boat, make a song out of it, and just get them moving their arms like this, okay? You can, if they seem to be picking up the arms really well, you can actually have them work with it on the barbell, where they're swimming out in front of them and they're doing a catch-up drill essentially, but they're using the barbell, okay? The other thing that I would have them do sometimes is maybe you sat with them on the stairs, they're doing this. The next thing to do would probably be have them stand on the stairs so that it's waist high, bend over, put their face in the water, and watch them move their arms like this. If at first they're just kind of going like this, that's okay. Don't worry about the arms really clearing the water at first. They just got to get used to that motion of one after the other. Okay. Also, I know that they emphasize with you all the high elbows and stuff. I'm not sure I would really even worry about that with them. I've used things with the little kids, terms like just make big circles. Some kids just have a really hard time with the idea of getting their hands out of the water. When I get desperate, I break the high elbow rule and I tell them to reach up towards the sky, out in front of them, to the bottom, to their leg, and give them different points so they get the idea of moving their arm at least in a circle, okay? So you can work on the arms. They're sitting on the stairs, they're bending over. You can work on that in isolation. So basically what your half hour with these kids are going to look like is you're going to work on some kicking, you're going to work on some rhythmic breathing, and you're going to start working on some arms. Okay, and as they get really good at the skills, you start putting them together. What's probably going to come first is kicking with their face in on the barbell, then kicking without the barbell with their face in to you, and then adding some basic arm movements with that. Okay,